Metroid Prime. Finally, it's been a very long time coming for this review, and I'm kind of looking forward to telling you what I thought. Hold it, stop. You can't. No. You cannot be reviewing Metroid Prime this week. EA just made a new game called Apex Legends. It's an EA game, but it's good. Wait, you're telling me EA made a game? When? I didn't see anything about it. A surprise free to play release. You gotta check it out, man. Everybody's watching it. All right, you know what? Let me check this out real quick. Let me see what you're talking about.
A few moments later.
You know what? This game's pretty fun.
Beginning ring countdown. You are the Apex champions.
You know, I gotta be honest, I was really surprised EA was behind the making of this game. Not because, it's Respawn and everything like that, and that they couldn't do something like this, it's just so not EA. There's no normal, EA cycle, I like to call it. There's no hype. They didn't talk about it at E3. There was no pre-orders. There was no anything other than a couple of rumors from, a day or two before it was actually announced and launched. And then all of a sudden, here comes EA being like, hey, by the way, here's a game. Also, here's a trailer. And at the trailer, it just said, you know what? Play now. It's free. What the fuck, EA? I can honestly just see the developers over at Respawn looking at how they could take Battle Royale and shake it up just a little bit to make it more interesting and more compelling to those who don't really play Battle Royales all that much. So they started with taking the Battle Royale as it is and going, okay, well, what if we added in characters and more of a team-based, class-based oriented idea into it? And they did, and it works really fucking well. I think that's the only way I can put that statement, because they force you to work in squads. There are only squads mode. There's no solos, no duos. You have to work in a team of 3. It'll auto-assign you into a team of 3. Go figure. And then you have the ability to pick your character and be like, okay, so I'm better at shielding the team, so I'm a pick, Gibraltar, who is the big shield guy. Or you could be the healers. There's 2 healers. There's 2 heavy, more like run and gun oriented classes, and then there's 2 more locked behind a paywall, paywall / grind wall that I haven't gotten to yet. Then I just imagine the developers are like, okay, so we've got them in teams, whether they wanted to be or not. How do we incentivize them to play together? And what they decided to do is just be like, well, instead of having them all jump out and possibly go to different locations on the map in more of a free-for-all style, what if we put one person in charge of the jump and have the other 2 give them ideas as to where to go? And it seems to have worked out pretty well in their favor, because while you can jump alone, it's almost certain death because everybody rolls in their squads, because it's just the best way to play. The game is built around these squads. You may as well use them. And just as a cherry on top, they were like, okay, how do we incentivize them to communicate without forcing them to do a voice chat option? Because while it's there, it's not the greatest, and not everybody wants to use their mic or even has a mic to use. So, how do they incentivize you and I, the player, to communicate with the squad so you can be the best squad on the map? What they decided to do was go in and put in a pinging system, so you just, click middle mouse or F, and you ping something on the map, whether that be a weapon, an enemy, a body armor, whatever it is. It will be pinged and your entire team can see it. And what's most important is pinging those enemies. Even if you think you barely saw something, ping it and get ready for a fight, because that is the number one way for everybody to know where a squad is. Not just a person, but an entire squad. It's so important to ping in this game that if you're not doing it, you're already setting your team up for failure. So just keep that in mind as you're playing the game, especially when you're getting enthralled with the culture, we'll call it, of the game. The game is stunning in all aspects of the word, visually, in the audio, everywhere. It's just a wonderful sight to see, and honestly, I kind of like playing it just to look at the world. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things at this point where it's so pretty, but yet runs so good, and you just kind of ooh, This rustles my jimmies just a little bit. Okay, sorry. I got a little weird. I apologize. However, the game is set up in more of a gladiatorial style arena. Like, this whole island is just one big gladiator arena, and it's so beautiful. There's so many different, like, landscapes and areas to traverse and look around. Everything you can get on top of, you should, and the sliding down those objects just feels so good, whilst everything looks phenomenal. Jumping out of the ship has to be one of my favorite parts of the game, just simply because when you're jumping, it's got some really cool, like, futuristic sounding music, but it's super, like, heroic even, and it's just great to be, like, towering, we'll go with towering down towards these areas, and you're like, I'm getting ready for this, I'm so hype, and then you land, and it's got, like, this big bass hit from the jetpacks, and it's so fucking cool. I should take a quick second to really talk about the microtransactions in this free-to-play game, because you know it's got to have it. It's an EA game, it's a free-to-play game, you knew it was coming. So pretty much what they've decided to do is go back to loot boxes. I know it's a scary thought, but so far, this is a so far asterisk, people, we are only having cosmetics come out of the loot boxes. The two new, like, heroes in the game, two new legends I think they're called, is locked behind either a paywall that you can get with their premium currency, or it's behind a grind wall that you can get with the currency you earn from playing the game. That being said, I will say, I don't know where they're going to go with it. It depends on how they feel, I think. They're probably going to screw it up in some way, or they could do it completely right. It's really up to EA. But honestly, there's not much more I can say about Apex Legends other than it is a fantastic game, and I highly encourage you go check it out. It's just Titanfall with no Titans and no wall running, which to some of you may be a great thing, and to others it may be a bit disappointing. But overall, a good battle royale, and one that I actually really enjoy playing. It's also really interesting to see how this game has just kind of blown up, just being out for like 10 or so days, however long it's been out now. And just to see how the original developers of the thing that almost killed Fortnite for a minute, Blackout, and Call of Duty, really took on their own head. Because when you think about it, Respawn Entertainment is the original creators of Call of Duty. And they are now making Titanfall and now Apex Legends. And they took the same feel of a game that they instilled with the original COD 4 and flipped it on its head, turned it into this really good futuristic shooter, and now a really good battle royale game that rivals all others, including Fortnite. I really did enjoy playing this game. I don't think I've made that quite clear. I highly encourage you to download it on one of its systems, and I think it's going to be coming out to more, or at least that's the rumor anyway. It's going to be coming out to more systems in the very near future. So definitely give it a check out. It's a free game. What do you have to lose? So that's pretty much it. That's Apex Legends in a nutshell. It's Titanfall Battle Royale, but it's really fucking fun. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video on That Game Review Show. I really enjoyed playing this game, and even though it just came out, my Metroid Prime review should be my next review. That way Matthew can finally take over the series, and, you know, I don't have to do this anymore. Also, I'm very sorry if I sounded at all sick at any point in this video. I am currently kind of ill as I make this video. Not like dead, but I've got a sniffle, so I hope you guys can overlook those moments, and I thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.